attest to this because I watched Matt race every week. And Matt, you had a little bit of an attitude, bro. Now I'm not gonna. It's respect. You had a little bit of swagger, dude. Like I'm fucking badass, dude. So it was good, but you did have a little bit of an attitude, dude. And you were fast. You knew it. And all of us beginners, intermediates, were like, "Fuck, man, this guy's fast, man." We ready? We got stretched out, Danny?
Yeah, I'm good to go. Dude, my shoulders, I was trying to sleep last night. I know I'm getting old because I'm like, oh, man, it's starting to hurt. Let me switch sides. Oh, man, it's starting to hurt. Let me switch sides. I'm like, this sucks.
Oh, he switched sides. There you go.
That's better, huh?
That's better.
There you go.
All right, here we go. Here's a count in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Headless Matt Haden.
BMXPERTS Podcast Day night. We got Matt, the Master Haden, on tonight. This is huge, man, because, Matt, I know you've been all over BMX throughout as far as I was when I was a child, all the way through my teens, all the way through my young adulthood. I think we're about the same age. So I've been following you for decades. So it's awesome. So awesome to see you come on the show, man. And this is an unexpected fill-in because we weren't going to film tonight. Kevin calls me, Matt, last night, dude, and I was trying to be patient with this dude. But he goes, hey, man, I'm going to be home Sunday night, so why don't we film another show? And I'm like, aren't we doing one Monday night? He goes, yeah, but if we get another one, I can have an extra one ready. And Kevin's the ultimate salesman, dude. So
every time he complains, and then after the show's over, he's like, dude, that was awesome, dude. I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, that was a great show, right? You guys are busy. You guys are picking up a lot of, Hall of Famers, regular people. I mean, you're really busy. I'm shocked when I'm on Facebook, I see them all the time. They pop up all the time.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. They slap you in the face. Bam!
Did that.
That was classic.
Oh, damn it.
Take your time, man. Okay,
I get it.
Matt, we just jump right into things, dude. No introduction. I pull a random magazine to find some Matt Haden information. This is B Plus, April 1987. So while you were chatting with Kevin, I'm going, okay, let's see if we can find something about Matt. Here we go. Are you ready?
Okay.
This is
1987?
Yeah, this is April 1987, BMX Plus.
And he's on Diamondback.
Yeah, no. Free agent.
Free agent still, okay.
So it says, the new national #1 cruiser. If you enjoy irony, consider this. Matt Haden wasn't even thinking about his chances of getting a national #1 cruiser title until in the ABA this year, and he had this points lead coming in. What was he thinking about? What was the national #1 amateur title? I'm sorry, for the year. Matt came into the Grands this year ranked #1 in cruiser points, in the cruiser points chase, and #2 in the amateur points chase. So apparently you got the cruiser title, right, Matt?
Yeah.
And you were also in the running for national #1 amateur. And here's a good shot of you racing. It looks like cruisers on this one for free agent.
Yeah.
Can you recap that a little bit as you were going into the 87 Grands? What were you under a lot more pressure than usual, or did you always keep a cool head? Where were you at when you walked into that race?
Well, knowing that I was up for both titles, obviously cruiser wasn't a big priority at the time. You want to win the 20-inch title. So to me, that was where I was at, and I think the pressure of that kind of got to me. I did hit I believe I hit the gate in the main. Carter ended up winning, which me and him were both. I don't know if he was up for the title on cruiser as well, but he was obviously, Carter was up for the title most mostly every year. But me and him in our class were, I think, 1 and 2, maybe 1 and 3 in the point. So Cruiser went first. I ended up winning. I ended up knowing I won the title before I went up for our. It must have been 16 or 17X, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was going really good that year. Obviously, Eric was going really good. We had I don't know if it's in that magazine or there was a pro spectacular the Friday night that they normally always have, and it was like 16 and over. So they had everybody: Doug Davis, Terry Tennant, Kevin Hole,
Wow.
Mikey King. I mean, it was stacked. Cecil Johns, Darwin Griffin, and I think me and Eric ended up were the only 16-year-olds to make the actual main that weekend. Doug Davis, I think, won it that night. But I was actually feeling very, very strong after that Friday night race because I think I won my semi. I had Doug in there, and Mikey was in there, and there's a I actually think it's one of the better photos I've ever been in. It's a shot of all of us on the first jump, and it's like world champion, number one, world champion. Every dude that's going across is like the best of the best. I mean, it's terrible 10 on the gate, and it's like it almost looked like I had the whole shot. Doug was really close to me. That was the actual main. He went around the outside and ended up winning. I can't remember I think I got 4th or 5th, but that was the start of the weekend, and I felt very, very confident. So I felt like, hey, this is going to be good. This is going to be a good weekend. Eric obviously was doing very, very well, and he ended up winning the 16X main. And I think I hit the gate, and I was just battling in the back. Once you hit the gate, you're pretty much out of it, and you're right. Bummed. You're racing for scraps. You just threw away the title. But after I got home, my dad's like, hey, listen, you were up for it. Not too many people can say that. You won the cruiser title. You need to start fresh for the next year. And I think I switched to Diamondback shortly after that. I think I might have switched right after that Grands. Okay. So I think that magazine you have says 1987.
Yeah.
And I think that was after came the next year, and I think I might have switched to Diamondback the actual very next year.
That makes sense.
That was my next question. That was my next question, Matt, because when we had Doug Davis on, he was talking. He was still pissed off about not getting signed up with Factory Diamondback for the NBL Grands in '87. Were you on that team that you didn't get to race, or was that before your time?
That was '87. I don't remember that. Okay. So it must have been. I mean, if he probably remembers it. I don't know if I was on let's see, because the Diamondback team that I was on, Doug was not. I should say the second time I got on Diamondback. The first time I got on Diamondback, I was like 14 or 15. Doug was the top dude, and we had, a full stack. Jason Warden and Eddie King and Harry Larry. Cindy Ainsworth, like it was a stacked team. That was the first time, and I left. I didn't leave. They fired me. I didn't do very good, and then that's when I got onto S&K, and then when I was on S&K, I got pissed off, and I was like, okay, well, obviously I'm not good enough. Diamondback kicked me off, so I'm going to prove them wrong. So during my first 6 months, I was on S&K, and then I was doing so well. Free agent picked me up midway through the season.
Hey, Danny, S&K was the bitter rivals of Main Bikes, dude. Bitter rivals.
Yeah, they were the same area. Basically, when I got, I mean, I obviously knew all the S&K guys because I grew up in Azusa. Their main hub was Azusa BMX track. But when I got kicked off of Diamondback, obviously they were close to being they had a lot of good riders, and they, were number one team. The year after I got off, they ended up getting the number one ABA team. Because they had Robert Swick, they had Dave Colonan, they had the Palmer brothers, they had all the Ainsworths. It was a stacked
Wait. Dave Coolin was on SNK?
He just kind of was when he didn't have a ride, he kind of filled in for a couple months. Yeah, the year that I raced with him, I was able to get I was able to I because I had a connect with Bob Haro and his brother. I was able to get us a sponsorship with Haro for the SNK team. We ended up picking up Swick because I was kind of good friends with him. I hit him up when he didn't have a team. Like guys that just a lot of good guys just didn't they would just be the end of the year. There's no one to pick them up, and it's like if SNK can pick them up or anyone you can get them to ride for you, that'd be a bonus. So.
Do you remember a guy at SNK named Rex Butler?
Yeah, the names. I don't remember what. Okay. How old was he? Our age?
He was in between you. He's in between us. So I believe you're 50. You're late 56. I'm early 59. So he was right. He was a year younger than me and a year older than you.
Okay.
And so, he was. I raced that guy all the time. I couldn't stand him.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, cool, dude.
So Matt, did you feel like you're on SNK? I mean, you did the free agent thing, and the Diamondback thing is kind of elusive. I mean, it's kind of the elite of the elite to race on Diamondback or GT, and when you're on a team like Diamondback, does the game change for you mentally? Do you train differently? Do you approach races differently? Or is it just I have one gear and that's it?
Well, I guess, some people are different. I heard the Doug Davis interview. Obviously, he was teammates with me. We went, we toured together. So I'm very familiar with. But he's serious. Like, I don't like you, and I'm going to dominate you when I get. So when I got on Diamondback, I was a 13-year-old kid from Azusa. I was just happy to be on. Like anyone would be. This is like the ultimate to be either on GT or Diamondback at that time. You're like, oh man, I'm one of the top dudes, right? So I don't think I took it. I think I wasn't as serious as I needed to be, and I agree. I was not competing. I mean, I was decent, but when you're on Diamondback, you're expected to win.
Right.
They want to win. They want to win team trophy. It's the ultimate. Like, I think I mean, I vaguely remember, but it sticks in my head. I remember the team manager was like, I either hit the gate or I fell, and I just coasted for the rest of the way. I was like, this race is over. I didn't win, and he freaking when I got back, he reamed me. He's like, every point counts. But you go here, you go all the way to the finish line every time. We're serious, So, I mean, I wasn't bitter about it. I mean, I took it as, okay. Well, I know how good I am. I'm just going to work harder, and I'll get another team, by winning the races. And if I got to be a Diamondback guy or a GT guy, or, that's what it's going to be. So I took it as a snub on me, but I knew that I wasn't ready at that time because I kind of just took it too leisurely, I think. But I was on the team for about a year and a half. And it is serious. The guys are flowing everywhere. You get money for food. You're strictly going. You're going from the airport to the hotel. You eat dinner straight. Everything's professional, no matter how old you are. They want. And when you're not used to that, I mean, I think I came from GHP at that. I don't know if I was on GHP. Yeah. I went from GHP and GHP was more laid back. Mr. Donnell, Jason's dad, was our team manager. He was laid back. He was like, if you don't do well, you don't do well. But because I think more because he had his kids that were racing, he was worried about them winning. But, so I went from there to Diamondback, and it was just a little bit more strict. I wasn't prepared for it.
Right.
You're 14. You can't be. It's hard to be a professional. When you're trying to get girls, in high school, or you're just goofing around most of the time. But I was I had a strict. I trained. I went to the trails all the time. I went to Azusa or whatever track was open. My dad would always take us to. So it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything. I was still working my ass off, but I just think I wasn't as serious as some of the guys. And my class is, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but my class has always been stacked. You know, there would always be one or two, three more guys that would come in and you're like, I have no idea who this guy is, but he's the strongest dude I've ever, you know. There's like underrated guys that no one that hears about that in my class that are like super fast and would win, like Todd Mitchell, Dean LaBerge, Sean Callahan, like guys that are those guys were monsters. And you know, you're 14-year-old, and every race there'd be a new one that would come around, and so you got to try to defend and you got to try to keep up, and it's hard.
Well, dude, I remember. I'm not doubting you, Matt, but if I would lay my hand on a stack of Bibles that you were 15x on GHP. That's not right?
No, I was 13. I was 13 on Bandito, and Bandito picked me up. I was 14, and I probably went to 15 at Diamondback, and then that's when they kicked me off. Okay. And from 15 to that half a year or whatever it was, I was probably 15, because when I got on a free agent, I was definitely 16. Okay. So in between, probably from 14 to 15, I was on Diamondback, but I don't know if I did a full 2 years, because I think they ended up dropping me before it was the year ended. Okay.
Because I remember telling you when I saw you at the SoCal National, and I've told Danny the same story, where I remember that all the beginners, I was a 16 beginner at the time, maybe an intermediate, but I remember we're all sitting around the starting hill, and you rolled up in your new GHP kit, and we were just like, oh shit, man! All of the beginners, dude, were sitting around going, wow, dude, look at that shit, man! Look at Matt Haden representing. So that's burned in my brain, and I could have swore you were 14 or 15x.
Yeah, that's a funny story. You know, we all go through that. Even when I started at Azusa, and Jason Jensen was the baddest thing that everyone was like. Every magazine Jason Jensen was in. Yeah. Every they were looking at his bike. They were, what kind of parts does Jason have? Like, so when I started at 10, he was a legend at Azusa BMX. So he was in my class. Unfortunately, I go and I get through beginner and novice, and all of a sudden I'm in a class with a guy that, he rolls up to the gate and you're like, holy crap, he's got, fresh new goggles every time. His bike is dialed, it's lightweight, and he's so fast that he starts backwards because he's just spanking all of us, So, I mean, that's the same thing. I mean, we've all gone through it, and I distinctly remember that, he would roll up and you're like, oh, dude, how am I going to beat this guy, But it only took me, it only takes 6-8 months. You start getting stronger, you're getting bigger, you're growing into yourself, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm getting closer and closer to him. So I remember it probably only took me about a year and a half before I was like competing, with him every day. And then I think the very first time I beat him at a national, I was like the happiest I'd ever been, because you're following this guy every night. Wednesday,
yeah, you beat a superstar, basically.
Every Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, you're beating, he's beating you, and you're just thinking, I'm getting better. You can see you can feel like I'm getting better, and you have that you have that carrot in front of you. Like, okay, well, I'm getting better, and I happen to start growing, so I think I was getting bigger than him, and so.
This is a good example of that, really quick, Matt, because your size difference. This is an ad. You're 13 years old in this ad, but you're like standing, looks like behind Carl Butler, in front of Billy Griggs, in front of Clint Miller, and you're. It's hard to believe you're only 13.
Yeah, I'm one of the bigger ones in that. I just saw that the other day. I was like, I'm almost as big as Pete. I'm bigger than Eric Roop. I'm almost as tall as Pete Lonkarovich, and he's a monster. But I think we might be going, maybe how the camera is, and I think it makes it look like we're that tall. But yeah, I was getting taller at that age. When I got on Bandito, I was pretty much ready to race nationals. It took me a couple years to progress to that stage, but I felt like because I was on Monrovia Schwinn for a while, so my dad would still take me to race. I'd still go to some nationals, and I would maybe sometimes make the mains, but I would always like choke. I'd hit the gate or I'd get really nervous. So it took me a good couple years to get the feel of how it is to race actually nationals with these guys. So, but once you get it and once you win your first one, you're like, okay, now I know what I need to do, and that I'm fast enough to be with these guys.
Nice.
Hey, were you on Monrovia Schwinn with Rich Roldan?
I don't know. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't even remember when I was on Monrovia Schwinn. I don't even remember if it was a team. My dad was good friends. He would always go in whenever my bike needed. I think the reason why I got on Monrovia Schwinn is because, and I don't even think I think we probably paid for everything. I think we just accepted the jersey and went to, but I don't really even remember a team like us going to go into places and having it like a double pointer. I don't remember that, but I was young.
There was the team pro. His name was Rich Roldan. I just wondered if you remember. Were you on Bandito when Jesse James was on Bandito, or was that before your time?
No, I must have been on. I must have been on one, but I don't remember him. Was he a good racer?
He was on Bandito, dude. That's all I know.
Well, I know, but we had like 1,000 kids on Bandito.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
They picked up everybody, and I don't know. Again, I don't know what the deals were. My dad was in charge of all that, so I don't know. I just know I went on tour with. I know I went on tour with them. We went on a KOA tour. We did a couple nationals, and I know he was not on that tour, so I don't know if he was one of the main guys.
Okay. For those who are wondering, I'm talking about Jesse James, the chopper guy, the guy that's married to Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, I think I heard it was one of your podcasts you mentioned it, and I don't remember him. Again, we had a lot of guys on the team.
Almost as many as main bikes.
Yeah, he was from where? He was from where?
Riverside.
Oh, he was. Well, Bandito was from Riverside, so that makes sense. Yeah, they were. I remember when I got on Bandito, I would always go out to the Riverside area or San Bernardino to ride. For the team.
This kind of gives you a perspective, Kevin, about how far and how much history Matt has, because I looked at a magazine from '87, he's in it. I just showed him a magazine from '83, he's in it. This magazine is BMX Plus May '95, and he was one of the candidates for Racer of the Year.
Yeah, I must have been a pro then. I was a pro, right? I was like 25 then.
Yeah, you were definitely pro by this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I think it looks like you're on. It says balance on your neck right here.
Yeah. That would have been my balance. I went all the way till 2000. So I started in 80. I went all the way till 2001.
Wow.
I took a year and a half off, which cost me like 3 years of my, probably my best years that I would have done. I wanted to play football for Citrus College because I played when I raced. I did play football at Azusa, and I thought I was good. But so I was like, you know what? I got dropped from Diamondback the second time when Harry when they dropped out of sponsoring everybody, because the last Diamondback team was just they kept me when I was the last one.
Can you imagine that, Danny? The last Diamondback BMX team member ever.
Yeah. I think that was around the time of the Diamondback dropped that new reactor, and it had the brakes behind the bottom bracket. I thought that frame was super trick. That bike itself was super trick. Not to get too far off topic, Matt, but did you like that version of Diamondback? Because it looked really cool in the magazine.
I actually love that one. I love the reactor frame, the smoked frame. It rode very well. Harry, really knew how to, get a bike that was good for everybody. So it wasn't like some bikes you get and you're like, this is garbage. Some people might like it, but he was more to get it right in the middle, a sweet spot to where most people can ride it and do well on it, right? And he, most of the probably most of the bikes I've ever ridden on every team has been stock. I've never needed a, special, bottom bracket height or tape front end taper. I just, whatever they gave me, I rode. Like when I started with Bandito, they had the double barrel drop it. I had no idea my dad said all that. Did he put it at the bottom one? I don't know. Did he put it in the front fork? It was just, you just ride and, excuse me. So the reactor I liked the reactor better than I don't even know if was on the Silver Streak when I was on the Diamond. I don't know what they gave me back then. But I liked the second version of it.
Did you ride the Harry Larry Turbo version at all, or was that in your era?
That probably, that at that age I was probably tall enough to ride that, so I'm assuming I probably did. I can't remember, to be honest. I wish I had all that stuff. You were talking about eBay. I got rid of so much stuff that I really wish I had still. I wish I had all my Bandito stuff because that seems to be really popular. GHP, because the companies that weren't around all that long, there's not a lot of product. So if you kept all that cool stuff, it would have been awesome. I wish I had one of my limo. I mean, I had so many limos painted cool colors, and I don't even know if I just gave them away or sold them. When I was a kid, you get all this free stuff, and you go up to the hills, and you're like, hey, you want I got this old frame. I don't want it anymore. And most of the kids would be loving it. So
yeah.
Hey Matt, do you have a light? It looks like you're in the witness protection program, dude.
Oh, let me. It's getting dark. That's why I don't want.
His house looks like my dad's house.
That's better. That's better, dude.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We don't want to disappoint the ladies, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, happy anniversary, right? Didn't you have?
Oh yeah, 30 years on the 11th. We just had it. We just had it. We've been together for 36 years. So. Oh,
she saw your whole BMX career for the most part, then.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, when I started dating her when I was like 22, 23.
Oh, you were pro years then.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 How did you meet your wife, if you don't mind me asking? Was it at a race?
She grew up in Glendora, which is the next city over from Azusa, and I had a guy from I don't know if you remember. He was he got good when he was living with me, but a guy named John Malone. He grew up in Texas.
Okay.
He wanted to pursue his BMX dream, so he ended up coming and living with my family. My mom took him in for several years. He ended up going to Glendora High School, meeting one of my wife's best friends. So we just started hanging out here and there while he was living with me. So that's just how we got introduced that way, just from a friend.
Dang, that's the way.
She didn't know I raced, and it was, whatever I was doing, she was, she was excited and she was totally into my BM. Because when you're at a pro level, especially back then, because it's not like it is now, we would race 30, 35 weekends, so we were always gone. Always gone, right?
Yeah.
If you had a good sponsor and they had a big budget, you were able to race ABA and NBL together. You were gone 25 to 30 weekends a year. So those are a lot of days. She's not, they're not coming with you most of the time. So you're gone a lot. So then, you get a little bit older, the kids start to come, and then you're like still doing it. And I'm sure she's like, well, when is this going to end? You keep traveling, you keep telling me of all these cool places you're going. So, I mean, I would end up taking her, when I could, we would go to, would bring her, like I would go to Florida. I'd end up bringing her and the kids. I only had one at the time. And then, it's just a lot of work away from the family. So God bless her. She was she was she went to college, graduated. I wasn't able to even go to her graduation.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was gone a lot. But
you know what's cool? Real quick, Matt. You know what's cool, Kevin? Imagine you're Matt Haden. You're 22 years old. You meet this beautiful girl. You tell her, "Yeah, I'm a BMX racer. Do you want to go to one of my races?" And she doesn't realize what she's about to walk into.
Yeah,
Matt was a rock star, dude. So,
sorry, I'll be right back. Left, I signed these autographs. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, dude.
Hey, I'll tell you, Matt, my wife is still wondering when I'm going to get over it.
She wants to know when you're going to become the rich racer,
or when I'm going to get this out of my system. Yeah, dude.
It's a love. It's a love-hate relationship. When I first retired, I was maybe as a little bitter. I was out of the industry. I just felt like I didn't really want to go back to it. But then after, several, 2 or 3 years, you're like, man, I really miss the guys. I miss everybody because you see them like they're like your brothers. It doesn't matter how good they are and how much they beat you. Most of the time you're flying into the same airport. You're getting the rental cars at the same place. You're mostly staying at the same hotels. You see them at dinner. You see them at the race. You're like living, with a bunch of brothers, and you're competing against them, but you're having fun. And at a certain point, the love is there all the time, and you're like, yeah. So I began to miss that, the traveling and the hanging out with them. 2 or 3 years after I retired. But when I retired, I was like, I'm done with this. It's so hard. Like, we barely make any money. I'm scrapping together. It's like 1 year contract. So there's like really no stability. But I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's great. But at 30 years old, you're like, okay, where am I going? What's my next step here? Right.
Yeah.
Do you remember your last race?
I do not.
I don't know either.
Let me see. Well, it would have been I actually raced Vet Pro. So fast forward to when I retired, I worked for Krupe Parts for a while because I just needed a job. I worked for Krupe Parts. I did sales there. I did maintenance. I built wheels. Whatever they needed, I did. So they had a full team, and I ended up being their team manager and traveling. And then the second year, I raced Vet Pro for them, and they decided to go to the races. So I would bring the trailer for them, not all the time, sometimes. So I think my last race was the ABA Grands Vet Pro, maybe 2003, 2002.
Okay.
And then at that point, I actually knew I was leaving because I got accepted to the police academy. So I was like, yeah, it was done at that point. I had to do
Is
something.
it strange, Matt, to go from because living a BMX life is not the average Joe life, obviously, right? You're living our dream. Me and Kevin were never fast enough to even consider being where you.
Well, I was close. All
right. Well, I'm the only honest on the podcast. Yeah, but so if you were when you decided this is it, now I'm going to go and chase my career in law enforcement. That must have been a massive transition, not just from an aspect of this is something totally different, but mentally you had to be like, wow, this is not a game anymore. I can get killed at work.
Well, that was that was the big question I had because obviously I know physically I could do it. I was still in great shape. I just got out of my career, or my first career, and then I knew that I had no law enforcement history in my family. No family members. It's not like no one was there talking me into it. Just me and my wife had a discussion like, okay, well, next step, we need a career with benefits, something that can pay for everything, And I knew that at that point I knew, okay, well, I don't know if I want to be a police officer or not. Yeah, because BMX is completely laid back. You're always screwing around. You're not, there's no set schedule. You train when you want to train. You eat when you want to eat. So I end up, I only applied at sheriff's departments because I knew that if when I got hired, I would just be in the jail setting at the beginning. And I knew that's safer, right? You're not on the street, and I figured I'd give it a couple years, and if I like, okay, well, this is the line of work I want to get into, then I'll stay. So I did like 3 or 4 years at San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. Decided that this is the career I'm going to take, but I lateraled over to a city department, Laverne PD over here.
Oh wow, that was a big jump.
I was that close to being a sheriff, LA County sheriff.
Okay.
They flipped me right before I went into my polygraph. They flipped me. And
I was really? Out,
dude. Yeah, but I was that close, man. Oh man.
They were a little stricter because I know I applied for them, and they told me that I wasn't eligible because I had like 2 points on my driving record because I had gotten a TC and I had a ticket. And I guess anything over a point, they decided was bad. Well, I got hired on with San Bernardino and Orange County. Both were like, okay, we'll take you. So I was like, that's weird. Why is LA County so strict? But
do you give BMX riders? Do you give them a break, or do you pound them when you catch them grinding rails or trespassing or building jumps? What's your relationship with the current BMX that you come across?
I mean, in our town, there's not much. Sometimes the skate park will have some riders in it, but we don't have trails. The most thing you get are the e-bikes. So the e-bikes, and then you can have a conversation with them, but they're going to be like, who's this old guy's telling me that he used to race BMX? Yeah, most of the time, I'm not really. If I see kids goofing around on skateboards, I will not hassle them. Unless they're vandalizing something or doing something silly, I'm not worried about them. Getting into the skate park out. I'll tell them, hey, you need a helmet in here or whatever, and I'll bounce. But I let them know that, hey, what they're doing is wrong, and if they want to make that decision, then they do it, and then I'll come back later if they're still there. Then we'll have another chat. But
hey, Danny, have you ever seen these clips of these cops that go to the skate park that were former skaters, and then they throw the guy the skateboard, the kids throw the cop the skateboard, and the cop does like a pop shove it or something like that. That's what I always like picture myself if I was ever a sheriff. I'd be like, give me that bike, dude. I'm gonna go do a wheelie, dude, or something like that.
Yeah. I just feel like I would eat it. I would do something silly and crash. That'd be the last thing I would want on YouTube. Is like it'd be great if you can complete the trick and you look like a hero to these kids. But if you face plant and they're laughing at you on YouTube, it's not so good. It's a different scenario.
Yeah.
I could paint a whole picture right now. So listen to this, Kev. So like imagine Matt Haden and Stu Thompson are on the beat and they're on bikes and somebody steals a bike and these two dudes chase them down. That would be so awesome. I could put that in a movie like, all right, let's get these guys. They don't know who we are.
Like the TV show Pacific Blue or whatever, right?
Yeah. Well, I keep telling them if they want to catch these e-bikers, they're going to upgrade their electric bike team. Right? Because these kids, nowadays they're just running from you because they know you're not going to be able to catch them once they get into the hills or whatever. I'm like, well, you need to give me an e-bike that goes as fast as they do. I'll keep up with them. We'll go to wherever we finish, and then we'll have a conversation. But
hey, I totally get the frustration with people, but dude, I gotta admit, I'm a little envious of these kids, man. If I had that damn thing when I was 14, man, I'd be in jail all the time, dude.
Yeah,
I'm envious of them.
I mean, they are doing. To me, it is very fortunate for them to have that kind of stuff because there are. When you have a community I live in, it's hilly. So the kids that are, live up in the hill action to get to and from areas, they need e-bikes. So it's able to get them out and do stuff. It's the ones that are like tearing up the parks and they're making their own figure 8 track. Obviously, being old BMXers, you're like, sweet, I would have done the same thing when I was young. But when the residents of these $1 million homes are calling all the time, it's like, okay, well, at a certain point, the chief and the captain are like, you guys got to do something about these kids, because the damage they're creating that's why they need to have these parks that have all, these new parks that are being opened to get them the area for them to ride, to have fun.
Yeah.
Like,
how do you feel about the pump tracks and things like that now? Would that have been something you would have been into back when you were riding?
Yeah, so much. Yeah, I love that. Every time I see them, I'm like, I still got a bike, but I'm not. I'm riding mountain bikes still, but like BMX, I would love to go and. If there's something more beginnerish, some of them have some good, look like pretty fun sections for all ages and all expertise factor, but I don't know if I would be willing to go out. Now, I had a back surgery a few years back, so my back is still sore. I'm a little leery of falling on stuff like that, but
yeah,
I think it's bitching for the kids. I think more cities should do it. If they have room, why not?
Before
I still haven't ridden one, Kev. I'm going to get to one. I'm going to try. Sorry. Go ahead, Kev.
I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because Matt had brought up a little earlier about I was the only one in high school that.
That's what I was gonna say, dude. Okay, go for it.
So I just have a story, and then you can tell yours. But so Matt, when I went to high school, there was a handful of us that raced, definitely. Okay. But if you were racing, everybody knew you were a racer, so you stood out a little bit. Because I didn't play. I played baseball, but not very much. I was always racing. But my buddy, he used to race for Boss. His name is Mike Colburn. Okay. And Mike we're all the same. All three of us are 56. And Mike was better than me. He was way faster than me. Every once in a while, we'd go ride together, and he was just way faster than me. But he talked about you, man. He's like, yeah, man, Matt Haden, man. I'm gonna go after Matt Haden. And you were like a big target to him, dude. It was like a badge of honor for him to get you, even if it was in a moto or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Obviously, there was a lot of grief between the NorCal, SoCal guys. Like, every time we would go to the Nationals, like Free Agent and Boss would always be at each other's throats. Like, we'd all have a guy in each class that we would hate. Like, mine was Darwin Griffin and Cecil Johns, Greg Romero was on it, and he was like competitors with like John Hamilton or someone on free. So every time we went to a national, we would always talk crap to each other, like back and forth. And I don't know where that started or how that started, but I think about it now. I'm like, man, I really like those guys. So I understand, listening to them talk, I think they felt like they were being belittled because they weren't in the SoCal where all the magazines were, and they were just as fast. I get it. I kind of understood why, but I don't remember him that well, but I could only imagine if he was on Boss, he probably hated me.
Yeah, he wanted to see you, dude. He was like, I'm gonna go after Haden, and I kind of like lived vicariously through his eyes because he raced nationals, and I was mainly just a local guy. I saw you at a national, and it's the same thing. I told Kevin Hull the same thing, dude, because I saw Kevin at the U.S. Nationals in Bakersfield, and I was like, oh man, that's Kevin Hull, and I was standing right behind him, and I saw you at a national, and you were on Diamondback, but your gear was just dope, dude. That Aero gear, the black and white, the big DB right here, and man, I was staring at you. And you were looking back at me, probably thinking, "Why does this kid keep looking at me?" But I was like, "Damn, that's so awesome! That's Matt Haden." I was racing intermediate, so I wasn't going to race you or anything. Yeah. But I was like, "Oh, that's freaking awesome, dude!" But that's kind of weird how we're the same age. We were both in high school, but it's just different when you're at a track. There's levels to this stuff, obviously, right?
Oh, yeah.
Levels. So I was like, oh, shit, that's Matt Haden.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, you're in the witness protection program again, dude. Anything you could do?
I know. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if Why is it so dark in here, dude? I don't know.
Okay, anything.
Let's see.
That's good.
That's better.
I feel like I'm in a cabin.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, that don't look good either.
It's pretty bright.
This is terrible.
Leave it to Kevin to stop all these stories with the light.
How about that, Kevin?
I got to edit this thing, man.
Hey, Kevin, is that all right?
That's good.
Excellent.
That's good.
I got I can't get any more lights in here. I got them all on.
You don't have to stand the whole time now, do you? Can you sit?
No, I'm good. I'm sitting.
Okay. All right. What I can attest to this because I watch Matt race every week. And Matt, you had a little bit of an attitude, bro. Now I'm not gonna. It's respect.
Did I?
You had a little bit of swagger, dude. Like I'm fucking badass, dude. So it was good, but
yeah,
you did have a little bit of an attitude, dude. And you were fast. You knew it. And all of us beginners, intermediates were like, "Fuck, man, this guy's fast, man." It was you, Jeff Lewis, and like a couple of guys and my brother every week, 3 times a week, 15x.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, I mean, when you're like, I could probably see me being like that as well. Just the same thing like when I started Jason Jensen, same way. He probably didn't think twice about me at all. He was just, he thought, okay, I'm the guy here. I'm going to do my practice. I'm going to do my race. Like when I went to Azusa, most of the time when I got to that age, 15, 16, I was really just, I thought I was the king of Azusa, obviously, right? That was me. I was like, okay, well, this is my track. This is my local track. If someone's going to come here, it's going to be, are
we talking ABA or NBL? We're talking ABA.
Yeah, I just did I did write NBL. I mean, I won the national there. I did both of them, but ABA ran more than the NBL track. I think the NBL track only ran once a day or twice a week or something.
Yeah.
I think it might have just been on the weekend, maybe a Saturday. So I wasn't at the NBL track as much, but the ABA track is where I started. And I rode that track, practiced that track until when it closed in 1986 or 85. I can't remember when it closed.
Yeah. So,
but I mean,
go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, that's just where my local track was. So I knew that, I didn't say I shouldn't say I knew. I felt like I was, if you're going to come here, you're going to have to go through me if we're racing.
Yeah. That's an accurate statement. I was there. That was accurate. I had to go through Dave Wilson. So that was my barrier that I had to get through.
And there was a lot of guys there older than me that were doing, they were good guys as well. They might not have been national caliber, but they were very, very good. They were very, very good local track riders. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Azusa put out a lot of good riders. I think just because of how it was run, how many days a week, the track was nice. It was good. The gate was always good. So it was easy to train there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Did you ever go to Honda Hills in Glendora?
No, I've heard about it. About it. That's where the famous Mike Miranda skying out. That's Honda Hills, right?
Yeah, that's where I grew up. Basically, okay. I was there every day.
Okay, I mountain biked at the top of Glendora Park.
Yeah,
in the Glendora Hills up there, but that's not Honda Hills.
Yeah, so Honda Hills is the flats right above the freeway. You can see if you're looking, I guess west, you see LA. It's basically a flat right below or right above the street.
Yeah. What struck me, Danny, is before we started, like you already mentioned that Matt was the only guy at school that raced.
Yeah.
But he went to Azusa High School where the track was located. That's what's fascinating to me. Right?
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
You would think that there'd be 100 dudes at the school that raced, but no, he was the only one in the city where the track was.
Yeah,
that was kind of weird.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah,
Go ahead.
But that was towards the end of Azusa. Like when I was in high school, Azusa, and I think the NBL track might have been gone already. So at that time, we were losing both. I think they both were going I don't know if it was exact same year, but I know they both. When I was a senior in high school, I had to start going to Orange, and I don't know if Cole Cannon was running then, but I had to switch it up because I didn't have Monrovia or Azusa when I was in high school. So. And I was driving. Oh, it was Cole Cannon because I was driving. So basically, once I started driving, Azusa must have been gone because I was at Cole Cannon pretty much regularly, with sometimes Orange as well. So
you did a lot of local riding then, Matt. You trained locally, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, and I probably overtrain. Now that. You see what the guys do now, and when the European dudes came to the country, you found out what they did. But I used to ride every day. Like even when I was a pro, I was still going up the Honda Hills every day and going to the track 3 times a week. Maybe it's just because I loved it and it was just like a peaceful getaway to go do that. But um, I didn't do a lot of weight training at that time. It was just riding, just having fun and riding, doing a lot of gates, a lot of sprints. But yes, I did. When I was a young kid, my dad used to take me everywhere. We probably rode. We were one of those families that went to the track like 5 or 6 times a week. 2 times on Saturday. If we could hit 3 tracks on Sunday, we would. Sometimes we would do 3 tracks on Sunday. We'd go to it'd be like Monrovia in the morning, Azusa in the afternoon, and then Orange at night, or someplace else at night. And you're just racing, you're just getting points, and my dad would just hang out with all the other dads and shoot the shit and drink beer, and you're just having fun.
That seems like a common theme because now that Kevin and I have interviewed a lot of people, and a lot of you guys from this era raced a lot. I think Ronnie Rio told us that, Kev, that he was racing like almost every day. I mean, I think that's the common theme. They raced so much locally. By the time they went to a national, they were way ready. What else do you need? I mean, you were constantly on your bike. I mean, I was lucky to race once a week. If I got 2 in, that was a big deal.
That's an advantage, and I think that's something that we had a little bit more of an advantage if you lived in the Midwest or you lived, you didn't ride as much. That's why kids from Texas were really good because they could ride a lot, just like we did. But at the time when I rode, there was a lot more tracks. Then it came down to when I was a pro. There was just when Orange went out, it was just Whittier and Arrows. That was the only one you can go to. There wasn't like the younger kids didn't have the option to race 3 times on a Sunday or 3 times during an entire weekend. So I think it was just the timing. The timing of growing up in the 80s in BMX was the best time, I thought.
Yeah.
I think it was for the sport and how fun it was. I felt like that was probably, and maybe the 90s was the same, but I think because of the 90s I was a pro, it became more of a job. So maybe that's why, but I felt like the 80s was the best time. The sponsors had more money. They were sending more teams to races, so more kids had an opportunity to travel and have fun. So
you mentioned the 80s, bro. What kind of 80s kid were you in high school? Did you jump on the mini truck bandwagon? Did you have a lowered bug? What were you rolling in, dude?
No, I had a mini truck, a Mazda B2000, and I hung out with Jeff Donnell and Pavlovsky and Colinan and Billy Griggs. They all had trucks. They were all in a truck club. I wasn't actually in the truck club, but I did go to truck runs with them. I hung out with them. Okay. My truck wasn't nearly as good as theirs. I bought mine like it was. I didn't do anything to it.
No hydraulics? No hydraulics?
No, none of that. I did have a pretty large speaker box in the bed. I had to cut. It was actually the full bed when I bought it, but because I couldn't get my bike on it, I cut it in half, and I had to get rid of like 3 woofers or something. It literally had chambers through the whole bed that went into. So basically, when it did rain, I did have an issue because the way they set it up, it wasn't sealed as properly. So I had an issue with it when it rained. So I ended up cutting the bed so my bikes can fit in it. But yeah, I was one of those kids that listened to rap, you know.
So what rap song was coming out of your truck in high school?
Beastie Boys. I think it's stuck in my truck. I couldn't get it out of the tape deck. I think it burned. I think it burned in there. I think when I sold, I did sell the John Malone. He's the one that came from Texas. I sold it to him. You know, when I became a pro and I thought I had all this money, I bought myself a Nissan Maxima. So I sold him that truck. So he ended up still driving around town with the Beastie Boy tape deck in it. Couldn't get it out.
I thought you were going to say the Fat Boys, dude. Remember the Fat Boys?
No. I was a Beastie Boy guy, and I was an East Coast. I like the East Coast rap. I like that stuff. But I was mostly, for some reason, the Beastie Boy really stuck with me. The way the bass was, it was like it really made the speakers go pretty good.
And when your parents went shopping for school clothes, did they go to Mervin's or Miller's Outpost?
Oh shit! That might be equal. Those were both good ones. We used to in Glendora. We used to have like it wasn't a skateboard shop at the time, but it was something like where it had a lot of surf clothing, like OP and
Lightning Bolt.
Yes, had a bunch of that stuff. So we would shop there a lot, but I would say Mervin's probably is where we were at most. Mervin's.
Yeah. That was my game.
You get a little bit more for your money at Mervin's than Miller's, dude.
Yeah. That is a good question. Yeah, we went to both. Don't get me wrong, we were at both, but I think Mervin's because of the mall and the Eastland Mall had Mervin's then.
Yeah.
So
did you get your hair cut at Command Performance or Supercuts?
We actually had a family friend that did hair. She would always cut my hair. So
do you remember Command Performance?
No, I do not.
Okay, it was like a $30 haircut in like high school. It was like, no man, the rich kids with the Command Performance.
I started shaving my head at like 22, and I haven't had to go to a barber since.
Okay, well, you're a little bit ahead of me, but we're in the same boat. Yeah. All right. Okay, Danny. I'm sorry. I got other questions. Go for it, dude.
I want to play a game with you, Matt. So I've never done this before. So we'll play trivia, but this is just for fun. So I'm going to list a bunch of riders from your era, and I just want you to answer with either they were beatable or unbeatable. That's all I want you to say. Okay.
Right. He can't give he can't give his honest opinion, dude. Can you?
I'll be honest with you. I will probably say beatable on every time because I think I thought I was pretty good, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Let's see. Let's get some names.
Yeah. Now, to all the riders that I'm about to talk about, most of them have been on the show, and the ones that haven't, please come on the show anyway. This is just for fun. All right. Eric Harder.
Beatable.
Mike King.
Beatable.
Terry Tennant.
Beatable.
Cecil Johns.
Beatable.
Doug Davis.
I mean, I didn't race him much, so I will say unbeatable. I don't know if there's even that I remember beating him other than maybe a moto or a semi, but I don't think I ever. What I mean, so I'll say unbeatable for him.
Charles Townsend.
I never raced. I'm pro. Beatable. I beat him as a pro.
Steve Veltman.
Beatable.
Wow. Danny Nelson.
Beatable.
Woo!
I told you.
Oh my God, I don't want to go.
I'm not. So, am I wrong? If I've beat him before, it's beatable, correct?
Of course, dude. Of course.
Cool, yeah.
So, I mean, every name on there other than Doug Davis that I can't remember if I ever beat him. I mean, I'm not. I hope I don't come off as a bragging.
No.
It's just for fun, dude. It doesn't.
I get it, but it sounds like, oh, this dude thinks he's a shit. I really don't think I'm that, but I have beat those guys, so I would say they're beatable.
That's the perfect explanation.
The problem in BMX, everyone's beatable. because
Go.
no one is 100%. That's what's so good about the sport. You can be really a badass, but sooner or later someone's going to take you, and that's what's so good about the sport.
That is until you quadruple at a national.
Oh yeah,
I heard somebody quadrupled twice at a national.
That
was you.
I quadrupled, but the other one was like a Gold Cup.
Okay.
It was the first. I was the first one to quadruple, and that was when I was in Monrovia Swing Cycle. I was at I don't know if I was in Arizona or it was like a big Gold Cup. I ended up doing that, and I didn't realize that wasn't a thing. My dad just signed me up for all these classes, and I just raced them and won. And then like the next ABA magazine, it came out. He's like, this guy first to quadruple at a Gold Cup. I'm like, oh sweet.
On a bike shop team.
Yeah, from Monrovia Schwinn, yeah. And then when I was on Bandito, I think it was like Stockton or it was a NorCal race. And funny thing about that track or that weekend is I cracked my wrist during practice. I was actually riding with a cracked wrist that I don't know who it was my dad, got a friend, would just tape up my wrist super tight, and I was unable to pull up for a jump. So every jump and maybe that's why I won, because I was just like launching off like one roller. There was a roll on the first jump. I remember just launching off of it. And it was right before my birthday. So I was technically 1 year older. And back then, age meant a lot when you're 10, 11, 12. So when you went up to 13-year-old, say for instance, you went up to 13 and you're like, oh shit, I got to race Mike King. He's 14 now, right? He's older than me, right? But when you get into pro, you realize, well, it really doesn't matter. It's more of a head thing. Yeah. And sometimes with the kids, it's a size thing. But, when you get up to pro and you're racing like Greg Hill, who's, 32, and I'm, a 25-year-old kid, I'm thinking this old guy's not going to beat me, but he's fucking just as fast as everyone else.
Man, is there any pros that you can say were just, well, how do I word this where you were just like amazed by them? Like, I'm like, wow, this guy's just incredibly fast, faster than I ever thought he could be, or anything like, did you ever run into something like that? Like where a pro was just shocked you how fast they were?
Yeah. In my generation of pro, obviously Christoph, he came and he changed the game. You had to step up, everything that you were doing to beat him. But to me, it was Gary Ellis always, no matter where we were, what age he was, how much older he was getting. And again, he wasn't that old. But when you think of Gary Ellis, when I was a 10-year-old, I would look at the magazines and he was already like a factory Kuwahara, like with a mustache. And he was like 15 or so, like a full mustache. And you're like, dude, this dude is a badass. And then you're racing him, 15 years later, and he's still the same big mustache, beard. And you're like, dude, this guy is, to me, his headspace and how he would flip a switch at main time was amazing to me. I was amazed at how good he was for the long period of time. Greg Hill, the same. Greg Hill obviously was my team manager, and we always goof around with each other. Or not team manager. He was my pro when I was on GHP, and he was also my teammate pro when I was on Redline and Redline. So I know Greg very well, and he was slowly getting out of the sport at that time. He probably was a little older, and he was probably feeling the same way I felt when I was 31. Like, okay, well, I gotta do something else here. Mm-hmm. But he was still very, very competitive, very fast. So I would think those guys, a lot of the European guys, like Australian guys, were really amazing when they like Warwick Stevenson when he came over was like so fast and so strong and could ride really well. So he had really no negative, no chinks in his armor. Same with Christoph and Thomas Allier, they came over. So to me, what, in my generation when I was a pro, I felt like we had a world championship every weekend. Because that's when the invasion came from all the different countries. Like we had a full gate of new people that you did not really have to account for 5 years ago, right? They're all fast, they're all hungry. It was tough being a pro at that. I felt at that time.
Did the Europeans have a different riding style? Did they have a different look at it? I mean, I just wondered if the Europeans came at the sport a little bit different than the guys from Azusa did. I'm just kind of curious.
I'll be honest. They were a lot more serious. Obviously, they wanted it. They're coming over. They have to survive, right? I need to get a sponsor, right? I need to, if I want to stay here and make a dream out of this come true, I gotta train my ass off. I gotta do everything properly. I gotta eat well. So they brought over a mentality. Some of them had personal trainers or people that were helping them, from their countries. And we didn't have dude, I lived off of soda and pizza. Like my dad was my gate starter like I had a gate at home. He's, at 10 o'clock at night, we're like, hey dad, you want to do gates? Yeah, let's do gates. My poor neighbors, he would fucking throw my gates all night long. And, I would do sprints on my own. I'd be in rollers on my own. When I went to the track. So for me, it was a big change to where, okay, well, I got to have a plan. At 25, I got to have a plan because these guys they all have a plan and they all are hungry. So for me to compete, I had to change the way I did things because like Kevin was saying, I'm just a kid from Azusa and just going to the trails and just riding, with no plan, just because you want to have fun, going home and eating whatever you want. It doesn't really work. On a professional level.
Yeah.
You could get away with it maybe when I first started and I was young and I was 21, 22, but once you get older and the competition starts to get a little bit more stiff, to me, that was the biggest, the biggest thing I saw from them is they brought a lot of energy and a lot of, they were serious and like I said, the Australians, the English guys, Dell and, Jamie Staff was a monster. He was a problem, right? And Neil Wood was a problem. They were all really good. And then Thomas and Christoph come over and they ride a completely different style. They're smooth, they're fast, they're strong. They got everything that you need. So, you have to be on your game and you got to be prepared for every race. So that was my big, with Americans, we were used to, okay, well, we're going to have the same 5, 6, 8 guys, 10 guys that are going to be competing at every weekend, right? They're the only ones with sponsors that are going to every race.
Yeah.
So you knew who you're going to race most of the time. And then, you get 7 or 8 new guys that just come and sponsors like, oh, we want these guys. So now you're fighting for sponsors. And you're fighting for positions on the track and podiums, so it got a lot tougher. I mean, it was like a world championship everywhere you'd be in Wichita, Kansas at a crappy muddy track, and you're like, dude, I got to race the world championships today, and the track sucks. But you have to just flip the switch and take with what because someone's paying you to be there and want you to promote their product, so you gotta do the best you can.
Matt, I'm glad you brought up World Championships because one of the coolest moments I've seen Matt do, Kevin, I hope I'm getting this right. I'm going off my memory. Danny Nelson won the World Championship this year. I think it was 93. I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Matt had a shot at it. He went kind of through the infield a little bit. It looked like you got bumped.
Yeah.
And you came together with Danny. And I was thinking, I watched that race. I reviewed that race on my YouTube channel. And I was like, I think Matt could have took him out and took the title right then. Because you made contact and you were on the inside. But you kind of like got off the gas and let Danny come around.
Yeah.
And I don't know, was it because you went through the infield and you felt it wouldn't be a clean pass, or you didn't want them both going down?
Yeah, I'm glad. So yeah. I mean, that race was. I mean, I always, I don't always, but that's one of my biggest regrets. But like you said, there was a lot of things going through my mind at that time. Split second decision. What do I do? And if you see, I bonked so I picked up for the jump before the corner, and my intention was to go underneath him. But if I wouldn't have bonked it, it might have been, I would have had enough speed to get around him or get inside of him without having to bump him. But because I bonked it, it sent me a little bit to the right. So I did cut the infield. I didn't actually, I don't know, maybe I did touch the grass. So at that point, now I'm thinking to myself, oh, well, shit, I'm going to be DQ'd if I pass him. And when I did bump him, I also thought, well, I could take us both out but I mean, it could have gone either way. I just bonked the jump. But like you're saying, I don't know if taking him out would have been the best decision for me to do. And we both would have fallen. Maybe someone else would have won that, wasn't an American. There's a lot of things that could have happened, right? They just didn't, and that's just how BMX is. Things, I'm happy. I mean, obviously I would really like to be a world champion, but to me, just knowing what I accomplished, being on the podium at a world championship as big as that one, we had I don't know if we had 30 seconds. In pro class, we had 30 seconds. There were so many people at that race. So you had to race your motos, and you had to race 5 or 6 elimination races just to get to the main event. I mean, there was a lot of guys that, a lot of really good guys that didn't make it. Out of my semi, and I could be incorrect on this one. Out of my semi alone, I think there was Christoph, Gary, Carter, all former world championships, all number ones, didn't make it out of my semi.
Wow.
I felt that was I was maybe 25 or 20. So that's probably the fastest that year. I think I got number 2 in the ABA that year. Pro is where I felt the fastest I've ever felt. I trained the year before with strictly with Harry. I met him at or I think he lived in Camarillo at the time, and we just trained. He was training other kids, but I would go there 2 or 3 times a week, and he would train me on speed, and I felt like that was the best I've ever felt. So, do I think I could have won that race? Yes, but I was happy to make them to just make the main at the Worlds is a very prestigious thing for guys like me out of Azusa. I wouldn't think I would be in. I also got 3rd in Canada. My last year as a pro at the Worlds, I got 3rd there. I got 2nd in France at the Worlds. So yeah, I mean, I've done I've done those things, and yeah, I really wish I would have won, but I'm just stoked to be, to be able to say I've made a podium at a world championship. Not too many people can say that.
It was definitely a good decision, Matt, because had you knocked Danny down, the first thing everybody would have said was he cut the infield and took him out. Yeah, but you still retained the world too, right? I think they didn't. They didn't say that.
Yeah, I didn't. I think back then, and I think it still is. If you don't gain a position, you're fine. So, and I went into the corner second. I came in the corner second. And I boggled in the last turn. Someone ran into the back of me, and big crash came behind me. But Danny ended up winning by a decent way. Because after that happened, I still thought, oh man, I'm still going to try to get him somewhere. I mean, there's only one turn left, but I still felt like, oh, I'm going to try to get him in this last turn. But I think I hit his back tire or something, and I fell off my pedals. Now, that was before Eclipse. And then someone ran in the back of me, and luckily it kind of followed up the group, so I was still able to get second.
It's a great race.
Hey, Danny, you guys will send me this race, and I'm gonna lay it over his whole conversation. It's gonna be awesome, dude.
Oh, you haven't seen it, huh? It's actually they posted it on Facebook a while ago.
I'm gonna lay it all over your explanation. It's gonna be great. It's gonna keep playing and playing and playing.
Every time I see it though, Danny, every time I see it, I like, man, I was like, so close.
Yeah, you were right there, dude. You had momentum, position, everything. So, like, if you took Danny high, you had it. But it was like, I think you realized I'm gonna knock him down.
Yeah, I wasn't in front of him enough to take him high. And again, this is all not from memory, but I've watched the video a few times, so I don't think I was far enough ahead of him. If I would have continued, we would have fallen. Like I would have had to. I would have had to be maybe a little bit farther ahead of him to hold him up high. But he was a monster. That he was thick. Like he was a strong guy as well. Like a lot of these guys, a lot of people don't realize how big and strong some of these pros were at that time.
Oh, when you see him in person, Kev, because Kevin's tall, I'm not tall. So when you see these guys in person, I was behind Gary Ellis at a snack bar line one time, and I'm like, how tall is that dude? He was so freaking tall, dude.
And it seemed like he kept growing. Like every week you go to another race, like, dude, how are you getting taller? You're like 29 years old. How are you still? I don't know if he put lifts in his shoes or whatever to make it intimidate us, but like he was a monster.
Before we go into trivia, do you remember the Z jumps at Azusa?
Yes, I helped build those.
Okay,
I helped. I told them that's someday. I did that after like the motocross that used to have the KMT rockers, Supercross.
Yeah.
I wanted something like that where you like had to jump into them and bounce through them.
Yeah. Did you ever? What was your line? Were you on the outside, inside, or in the middle? Because everybody in 16X went outside and then did the high-low into the second turn. What was your move?
I was outside. I was outside as well. I tried to clear them to get to the turn.
You had to clear.
Yeah. That was the best thing to do, is outside to. And again, it just depends, if someone's close to you, if you're trying to make a pass. But normally, I would be outside. If I had a clean track all by myself, I would be outside to rail the berm.
But if I was ready to T-bone, I'd hit the middle and just T-bone him in the second turn, dude. That was my favorite move, dude.
Yeah, I love that track. The NBL track I loved as well. That was such a fun track. It was a good place to grow up at, really.
Yeah. Before we go in there, but in a trivia, you've been nominated for the Hall of Fame a couple years now.
Oh, it's been like 15 years I've been nominated. I think it's over for me, man. If the voters haven't decided that I belong at this point, I think they should include someone else in there.
Is that your call? Like, does it lose in it? It's lost it for you. No, you still looking?
After a certain point and after a certain amount of years. I mean, it's been since I retired. It's been 25 years, right? 26 years. You at a certain point, they either need to change the parameters of it, or because now you got like 4 decades of pro riders that belong, or that think they should be nominated, right? And that's a lot of people. Like they only narrow it down to 8 people, but there could be another 20, right? And the more years it builds on, you got guys that retired in 2020, 2021. Those kids feel like they deserve a chance at the Hall of Fame. So at a certain point, you're going to have so many people that people are just going to be left off. But then they have the other class, which is I think it's early racer. I don't know how they pick. I don't know how you pick early racer. Should I be in the early racer category? I don't know how that works. Again, I'm not involved in it, but I just every year it comes up. Every year I get into the final 8 because I think, and I get, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. The rules are if you get top 3 voting, from what I understand, if you get top 3 in the voting, you automatically get included in the elite 8 at the end. Which I feel like maybe that's why I've just been in the final 8 because I don't know why I keep getting included in the final 8. I don't know who votes for me to get into the final 8, but for like the last 15 years, it could be a little bit less, but I've been in that group, and the guys that get nominated, they deserve it, but at a certain point, I'm just going to be phased out because I'm at a point where most people that are racing or even getting votes don't remember my time.
I think it's a matter of time, Matt, that you will be in there. And then when you do your acceptance speech, just make sure you say, I want to thank the guys at the BMXPERTS Podcast for believing in
for believing in me. Hey, have you ever been to the ceremony?
Yes. I've been when John Purse got nominated. Mostly when my old teammates get nominated, I'll go to them. I haven't been to any recently. Okay. I think the only time I've ever gone is when it was in San Diego. I have not gone to Oklahoma.
Okay, all right. Because I was going to ask you. I just booked my trip yesterday, and this will give me my first time ever to the Hall of Fame, ever to any ceremony. And I was wondering if you could give me any tips or anything any advice for attending a Hall of Fame ceremony.
Oh man, it's been so long. I mean, there's really not even much to do. You just sit there and you eat. You have fun. You listen to the speeches. Are you up there talking?
No.
Okay, and you don't have to do anything. You just sit there. You get to relax.
Just be a fan.
Yeah, it's the guys that have to get up there and have a speech. I feel for those guys. You got to come. You got to one up. You got to one up the next guy every time. So, but I would love to go. I would love to go see the actual Hall of Fame. I have not actually been there to see it.
Okay.
So that'll be fun for you to see that.
Yeah. Do you have to be in the Hall of Fame to have something in the Hall of Fame, or no? You don't have to. Right?
No, I think they take. I think anything. If you have something that's super cool, like I mean, I have like. And I've never reached out to who I think it's still Gork if he wants. Yeah. I have like 3 or 4 really good Troy Lee Designs helmets that are like, they're. I would think they'd be cool in there, but I don't know if they have a place to show something like that. If I'm not in it, why does anyone want to see my helmet?
I think everybody. There's a lot of stuff like that in there, Matt. Like I know.
Is there?
Yeah, because we talked to Gork, and Kevin even asked him, "Are you taking donations?" He goes, "We always want stuff. Always." Yeah.
I mean,
it would be awesome.
I would think I would want my helmet, even if I don't get in the Hall of Fame. I would think my helmets would be cool in there because then they're not just sitting in my garage or because sooner or later, when we all pass, it'll go to my family. What are they going to do with the Troy Lee Designs helmet? Who knows? I think it would be better if it was like. I actually thought I might even just contact Troy because I know he's got like the Troy Lee Designs shop has a like a bunch of old helmets from like legendary guys that they've painted, like McGrath and those guys. So I don't know if they would ever want a helmet for me, but I just felt like they're just wasting in my garage. So I don't know.
We got to get him we'll reach out to Gork, Kevin, tell him Matt's got a helmet.
I offered my jersey. He didn't want it, dude. No.
I think the Torker guys took my Torker helmet. I gave it to them because they have like a dummy with the Torker outfits. I don't know if they have I think they have you been there before, Danny?
No, but I've seen clips. There is a Torker mannequin in there.
Yeah, I think they have like an area with each team, like like a GT area, a torquer area, and that's what I feel like they wanted it for. So I lent them that and I've seen pictures where it's there in the Hall of Fame, but I don't know if it's what it actually says or if there's any markings on it or anything.
Right on. All right, Kev, are you ready?
Oh no, here we go.
All right, man.
Hey, I'm going to explain, Matt, I'm going to explain this whole thing because when I'm clipping out the show, I love to clip the trivia, and I will never make you look bad.
Okay.
I will always clip something that makes you look cool. I promise.
All right, good.
All right. I make myself look bad. I like that doing that.
So I did watch the entire Tim Abbott and Mike Allen episode because those guys, I grew up with those guys. Obviously, you know them from back in the day. So I wanted to see what they were saying about Azusa and stuff, but so they weren't doing real good on the content on this thing.
Yeah, they weren't that good.
All right, so these questions are actually Byron Friday's questions.
Oh, geez.
Because Byron went long on the interview, and I told Kevin we got to cut it off because we were well past 2 hours.
But Byron talked too much? No way. That's not. That doesn't happen.
It could have took us another hour and a half just to get through trivia.
Oh, that guy has so many stories. I don't know how he remembers everything, but.
Yeah, he's a great storyteller, man. It was one of the easiest interviews ever. I told Kevin, I'm like, I didn't really have to say much.
It wasn't the easiest edit. It took me 6 hours to edit his video, his episode.
He has a lot of history in his brain. That's for sure.
Yeah. So these questions, looks like they're 1982, 83. So they're a little early, Matt, but we'll do the best we can with them.
All right.
And I did make some multiple choice in here. And then we got pop culture, of course. So you can choose what you want to do when it's your turn. You can say, I want to do pop culture or I want to do BMX. Last week, somebody was like, I'm only going to do BMX. And the problem with that strategy is Kevin will smoke all the pop cultures, and then eventually you're just going to run out of BMX questions. So
got it.
Yeah. So I tried to warn him, but he didn't care.
So we switch up. We should switch up. That's the best.
Switch up.
Okay. Yeah. So when it's your turn, pick your category. If you miss it, Kevin can steal and vice versa. Whoever gets the most points wins. Pretty simple stuff.
All right. Good luck, Matt. Good luck, Matt.
Good luck, buddy.
Let's do it for Azusa.
Yeah, here we go. For Azusa.
All right. So you're the guest, Matt. You get to go first. Would you like to do BMX or pop culture? What do you want to do?
I will start off with BMX.
All right. In 1983, John Kerr was the editor of what BMX magazine?
BMX Plus.
BMX Plus is the correct answer. So you got one already for Matt. Okay. All right, Kevin, you're up.
BMX.
All right, here we go. John Cruz raced for what I'm sorry, let me do this again. What factory team did John Cruz not belong to? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Was it Patterson, Skyway, Redline, or Mongoose? Once again, John Cruz did not belong to one of these factory teams.
Mongoose.
Mongoose is the correct answer. Good job, Kevin. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, did you know that one?
Yeah, we got a problem over there. I knew it, but I didn't think he would know it. So I feel like it's going to be a problem. I feel like this is going to be a problem already.
That's my line, Matt. You stole my line.
All right, it's 1-1 going back to Matt. What do you want to do?
I'll do pop culture.
Oh, we're doing the first pop culture question. Okay. Mark Hamill played Luke Skywalker. What movie did he star in later that year that actually is a car movie? So it was based on a car. What movie did Mark Hamill star in? Based on a car.
I know.
Based on a car.
Yeah.
How about based on a car? I don't know. Pass.
Kev?
I just watched this movie a couple weeks ago, Corvette Summer.
Corvette Summer.
Oh.
There's the one, yeah. That movie is actually still kind of cool. And the Corvette is
I actually remember that movie now when you say Corvette Summer. I thought it was something else, but now that I hear it, yeah.
Oh, so hey, real quick, Matt, you're in law enforcement. If you see somebody in a sports car, man, are you already suspect to them, or does it matter?
Tell the truth, man. Tell the truth.
No, I'm not.
It doesn't
sports
matter.
car, no. Most of the times now it's the souped up trucks with the loud mufflers, or the cars with the loud mufflers. Like the sports cars are mostly, those are the older guys that are they're cruising. Sometimes obviously it's their actions. I'm a older police officer, so I'm not trying to pull over everyone just because of what they have or don't. They have to be breaking the law for me to do something.
What's your favorite ticket to give out?
It can't be a favorite ticket, dude.
Sure, there's the cops don't have certain things that really turn them on, like speeding or
really bothers me is the loud mufflers. The ones that are just excessive, like those are really bad. And then I don't like front window tint. That bothers me.
Oh yeah, mine are kind of tinted, but just stay away from me, man. You can still see me, man. Is there a legal amount of tint that you can have, though, man? Because I keep hearing all these different versions of this.
Zero tint on the front windshield.
Oh, dude, Kevin, me and you are both breaking the law, dude.
My car's stock, dude. How can I break the law, man?
He threw you under the bus. Kevin, he's throwing you under the bus, dude.
Yeah, dude. Okay.
All right, let's get back. Pop culture.
Pop culture. Okay, here we go. Oh, Kevin, I'm glad you're getting this one. Okay. Name all three Bee Gees. Name all three Bee Gees.
Oh, God.
Robin, Maurice, and Barry.
Maurice?
My dude. His name is Maurice. Yeah, Kevin.
Oh, my God.
How? The fourth one is Andy, but he wasn't in the Bee Gees.
He wasn't in the Bee Gees, no, but he was the first to pass away, I think, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you guys have been.
No, don't do that. No, don't say that, Matt.
You guys have been doing this too long. You know everything.
That Bee Gees one. When I wrote that one down, Matt, I go, I'm only giving this one to Kevin. I don't care. Next question.
I wouldn't have got it, so I'm glad you gave it to me.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on, we're back to Matt. It's 3-1. Kevin stole one. So go ahead, Matt. What do you want to do?
Well, I guess I'll go back to BMX.
All right, here we go. The 1983 Race Incorporated, was it made of chrome moly, 6061 aluminum, or mild steel?
It's aluminum.
Aluminum is the correct answer. All right, Matt, good job. Matt moves to 2, going back to Kevin.
Matt, would you like to weigh in on the controversy? Is it Race Incorporated or Race Inc.?
Well, I did Race Inc. I would say it was Race Inc. because that's what it said on the frame. So
okay, all right. We've argued about this. I always said Race Incorporated, but go there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Matt's like, I didn't race for them. I don't care.
Yeah, I just know it said Race Inc., so that's how I went with it.
Yeah.
All right. My turn.
Yep.
What did Matt just say? BMX.
Matt got a BMX one.
BMX.
All right, here we go. In 1983, Richie Anderson, wore what race pants while racing for Patterson? In 1983.
I'm going to say gear.
That's a miss. Matt, now's your chance.
Race pants racing for Patterson.
Think of all
09.
09 is the correct.
Man, I always miss the 09 questions, dude.
Yeah, Matt gets the steal, and it's his turn. The game is tied.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll do pop culture.
Oh, Matt's like, I'm going to relive dangerously, man. Here we go.
Yeah, I got to get one pop culture question. Let's see.
All right, here we go. What character did John Travolta play in Saturday Night Fever? Do you know his name? I will take the first name if you got it.
Danny.
Oh, that was Grease. Good guess, though.
Oh.
Kevin, what it was?
Yeah, it was. Oh, dude. No, I don't know it. I thought it was Danny.
That was a good guess, though, because that was Greece.
Close.
What do you think it was, Kev?
Tony Manero.
Tony Manero, right on the money, dude.
You knew the first and last name.
Yeah, Kevin with the flick.
Goodness gracious, dude.
All right, Kev, what do you want to do? You got
the hornet's nest here.
All right, pop culture.
All right, pop culture. Here we go.
Give him something hard, please.
All right, I'm going to give him something hard. Here we go. What was the name of the brothel in the best little whorehouse in Texas? What was the name of the brothel?
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't know.
You don't know?
I know. The Chicken Ranch.
It was the Chicken Ranch, man. I'm going to give you a pass on that one, Kevin, because
seriously. How did you pull it? I thought it was I was going to say some sort of female name, but yeah.
The Chicken Ranch. It just popped in my brain.
I didn't know it was the Chicken Ranch either, dude. If it makes you feel better, Matt. All right. Well, let's go back to Matt. What do you want to do, Matt?
All right. I guess I'll do BMX since.
Okay. Here we go.
It's the only thing I can answer.
In 1983. Tinker Juarez raced for what factory team?
Oh, that should be easy for me. Bandito.
Correct answer. Bringing Matt to 4. It's 5-4. Kev, you got the lead. Your turn, Kev.
BMX.
All right, BMX. In 1983, Misty Dong raced for what factory team?
All right, I'm gonna full disclosure. I've been asked this question before.
Okay. Raleigh's the right answer. All right. Good job, Kev. Good memory, dude. Did you know that one, Matt?
Yeah.
Did you ever meet the late, great Misty Dong?
Yeah. When she was on, she must have been on Patterson. She was on Patterson, correct? If I remember correctly?
Yeah, she was on Patterson, point 2, yeah.
Yeah, she was, while we were on tour with GHP, so it must have been. Was she on Patterson after Raleigh, right?
Yeah, I think it was after Raleigh.
So when we were on tour with GHP, not getting a long story, but we actually met up with Patterson on the road whenever we were at like KOA because Greg was really close with the Pattersons and John Cruz and those guys. So I would always watch the pros goof around, and so yeah, she was always around. She was on the tour, so I did meet her.
Awesome, man. I've only seen her in magazines, man. Rest in peace. All right, well, let's see. Kevin, that was yours. Going back to Matt, what do you want to
do? Kevin's up 6-4.
It is 6-4. Yeah.
I'll do BMX. Gotta keep up.
Greg Esser is the founder of what?
Thruster.
Ooh, it's a myth. Kevin, can you steal it?
No, let him. It's easy. Give it to him again.
Okay. Kevin, Greg Esser is the founder of what? Let me add, association.
Oh, NBL.
NBL. There you go, Matt. Okay, brings Matt to 5. Back to Kevin. BMX. Okay. True BMX minis ran what type of wheels?
So
up, Kevin.
Dude, I don't even know what is True BMX minis. Was that
the small micro minis?
Actual BMX mini, not like a small BMX, not like a pit bike, an actual BMX mini.
Small bike
yeah. So a little kid's bike, I should have said. All right, so let's see. We're going back to Matt, and it is 7-5.
How many more BMX questions do we have? Do you only have a certain amount?
We got 2 left. We got 2 BMX questions and 5 pop culture.
All right, I'm going to let him take the 2 BMX questions. I'll go pop culture.
Yeah, is it my turn?
Yeah.
It's your turn.
I'll take the BMX, obviously. That's the only thing I can get.
All right, here we go. 1983. Hutch was based in what state? Was it Massachusetts, Maryland, or Indiana?
Maryland.
Oh, that's a miss. Kevin, do you know?
What?
That's correct. Pasadena, Maryland.
It is. I apologize, Matt. You're right. I checked the wrong one. I put in, for some reason, I wrote Indiana. So that's
Kevin. We're working as a team here, buddy.
Yeah. Team riding, man. We're team riding against Danny.
At least you're keeping it close. That's all that matters.
I will say, to my defense, I rarely make mistakes.
All right.
Just ask him. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. Pop culture.
What year was the Trans Am in Smokey and the Bandit? What year was that Trans Am?
79.
That's a miss. This is your chance, Matt. Do you know what year that Trans Am was?
And Smokey and the Bandit, let's do 81.
Ooh, you're thinking too late. That was Smokey and the Bandit came out in the 70s.
Oh, so it had to be lower than that, right? Like 75?
Close. 1977, gentlemen, was the year of the Trans Am. All right. Okay, going back to Kevin. No.
It's Matt's turn.
It's still Matt's turn. Okay, BMX. Matt. Here comes it.
The last BMX. Let's do it.
Last BMX. Now, this is a price point question, but it has multiple choice. Okay, are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
In 1983, Hank and Frank listed CW handlebars at what price? Was it at $22.19, $20.99, or $21.95? It's going to be a complete guess on this one.
I'm going to do the lowest, $20.99. Is it $20.99?
$20.99 is a miss. Kevin, do you have a guess?
CW handlebars in 1980 what?
1983, were they $22.19, $20.99, or $21.95?
Okay, 22.19.
Oh, that is the correct answer, dude. That is the correct answer.
Yes.
Kevin with the steal. Okay, so just for reference, the CW.
I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
The CW handlebars went for $22.19. GT Pro bars went for $20.99, and the Redline V bars were still hanging in there at $21.95.
What do those go for now? What can you sell them for now?
Oh my God!
You got a pair of brand new ones.
If you got if you call it new old stock Redline V-line bars, what do you think those are worth?
They never turned me on, dude. I never rode them, dude. They weren't for me.
I mean, if they're original, I would probably say a couple hundred bucks. I'm sure.
Indeed, yeah.
I'd say 500 actually.
So my very first bike was the Redline MX2. That was that's what my dad bought me. Like first race I went to in Azusa was on that bike with it was red with the gold anodized.
Nice. Hey, Matt, your favorite handlebars throughout the 80s. What do you think your favorite handlebars would have been?
Well, I like the Star bars. I rode those for a while.
Okay.
When I got on GHP, and then they just became GHP bars.
Right.
And then probably in the 90s, I rode standard bars. Standard.
Okay.
They were heavy, but I liked the bend on them. I guess a lot of guys rode the S&M bars. They lasted. They lasted, and their bends were perfect. So.
Did you have a size that you preferred, like 8 inches, 20? Did you have any standard size that you liked, or did it matter?
You mean the height of the bar? Yeah, 8 inches, eight, a little bit over 8, like an 8. I don't know exactly what it is. There's a little bit higher than 8 inches.
Yeah,
that was we talked to Dale Holmes, and one of the things that Kevin brought up is that the Euro guys were wearing the small bar.
Yeah, they were cutting them, and her hands were almost on the bend.
Yeah.
Dale was one. He had it like that for a while when he first got here. I don't know if he changed it after a while.
Yeah,
you know who else did that was Brian Foster did that. He had very skinny bars.
Yeah, I would think that the narrower the bar, the less torque you have. I don't know. This is from
control.
Yeah. I would. That's how I would.
mean, yeah. There's so many different guys that sometimes you can overthink it. Like you can say that when your bars are skinny, I like it like that. But then you see Gary Ellis's bars, and you're on the gate with him, and his bars are like banging into you're like, dude. They gotta make these gates wider because your bar. We're just sitting here on the gate. Your bar is touching my handlebar. This just doesn't seem right. So he was able to do it with big bars. I think it's just a matter of who you are and what you like.
All right. Okay, Kev, I realize you stole that. I'm going to go to Matt anyway because we're running out of questions, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, now these are all pop culture. This is a TV show one. Good. Lonnie Anderson portrayed a receptionist for what radio station on a TV show?
Some Cincinnati K's, something KRCP or I don't know
He has it. He got it.
I'm going to give it to him. It was WKRP in Cincinnati.
WKRP. I knew it was KR something.
Yeah, but I'm going to give it to you since you said Cincinnati. That'll be acceptable.
Close enough.
Close enough, I guess.
Pretty funny show, dude. All right,
yeah,
Kevin,
it was.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. After the Ropers left Three's Company, who became the landlord?
Mr. Furley.
Mr. Furley became the landlord.
Don Knotts, dude.
Don Knotts.
Mr. Furley.
All right, you're at 9-7. Matt, you're still in the game. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let me see here. Ooh, this one's kind of hard. Let me go to another one. Oh, you know what? These are all these are older, but here we go. This came out in the early 80s. It's a tech question. What is a Commodore 64, Matt?
Commodore 64 was a computer, no?
The computer was a home computer. Yeah, that's a good one. A lot of people had the Commodore 64 because it was super. Yeah, if you couldn't get an Apple, you got a Commodore. Yeah.
And that's hard to believe that was just in the 80s. Now it'd be people would look at that, kids would look at that and like, what the hell?
Yeah, dude. I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine. I'm like, in 1995, I think I paid like $2,000 for this PC. I saved up to get this thing. It's not even half as strong as my phone is.
I know. I don't think kids or people realize what we have in our pocket. Like,
right. All right, so let's see. Kevin, you got that one. Matt got his. Okay, here we go. Kev, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, in the movie Porky's, what high school did they attend?
Oh, man.
That's a tough one. And I didn't make a multiple choice, Kev. I'm sorry. I should have made multiple choice.
If Kevin gets this, I'm quitting.
Look at him thinking.
I haven't seen Porky's, and God, I was probably. When did that movie come out? Does it have the date on there?
I believe like 82. 82. Yeah.
It's probably when I would have watched it. I was like 12-year-old kid. That was.
Yeah, dude.
They had the epic nude scenes. Me and Matt probably like, yeah, you know.
Hey, that was Kim Cattrall's first movie.
Oh, it was.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember what they called her in the movie?
A howler or something like that?
Lassie.
Oh, Lassie, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Kevin, do you want me to tell you?
I don't know.
It was Angel Beach High School.
Oh, okay. All right.
Beach High School.
I had no idea. Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that either. Okay.
I would have never got that.
We got one more. We're going to go to Matt. In the 1970s and 80s, Texas Instruments made what? Everybody probably had one in high school or junior high.
Like a calculator.
Calculator is the correct answer. All right. Hey, not bad, Matt. You lost, but only 10-9. So
yes,
you lost, but only.
I competed. It was a good competition.
Yeah,
hey, Daddy. Hey, good job, bro. Hey, Daddy. Ask me if he's beatable.
Is he
beatable?
Yes, I am beatable. Yes, I am beatable.
I'm kidding.
And
man.
anyone that you ask on your following shows will tell you that I am beatable for sure. I lost more than I won 100%, and I think
I find it hard to believe, man.
Most guys would say the same. If you're a 50% winner, you definitely are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, man. I would say so. I mean, because if you look at baseball, if you're batting 300, you're considered good, right? That's 30%.
I mean, John Purse, the year he won all those ABA nationals, he's probably 70%. He still lost, 30% of his ABA races. So, I mean, it's still a great year, but it's the sport is so hard. When kids get down when they lose, it's like, listen, tomorrow is you can rack off 10 wins in a row and you might lose 5 in a row, but this is how it goes. There's people, there's just too many fast people right now.
I could tell you personally, there was every ride home from a BMX race was different. If you did well, you were on a high. You were just super happy and felt unbelievable. If you got motoed, you would be driving home thinking, man, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Yeah. It was just so weird to have all these conversations with yourself. It is a tough sport. It is. That's probably why we love it so much.
I know.
Any final thoughts, Matt? Anything you want to share with anybody before we wrap up?
No, I just appreciate you guys having me on. I mean, it's been a while. It was a while, and I apologize. I know Shane was hitting me up many times, and I couldn't get the. I kept telling him Sunday and Monday can't work for me for at least the next 6 months, and he said he was going to try to move some of them. So don't worry. You guys have plenty of content. There's plenty of people you can talk to. You don't need. So I told him. I said eventually I'll be on. I'll be able to do something. Like right now, I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, so I'm good.
Nice. Dude.
Nice.
I totally appreciate it. And I hope I wasn't blowing you guys off. I just couldn't get the.
No. When you canceled the first time, I was stuck in Denver at the FedEx Hub, and I was thinking, how am I going to reach out to Matt and tell him that I can't do it? And then you texted me, and I said, no problem.
Oh yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah.
You guys do 2 or 3 of these a week?
We're 1 to 2 a week. Normally,
Okay.
But this week we're doing 2 because
I saw you got a casting. You got a casting on, right? You did a casting? Okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, we typically would have only done 1, but Kevin's schedule is kind of volatile as well. So it's either going to be Sunday or Monday, depending on when he gets home, because he's a long haul truck driver. And sometimes we can get one in on Saturday. It depends. So that's why the list to come on the show is getting kind of long, because we're averaging 1 a week.
Yeah.
But we'll get to them for sure.
You guys definitely are getting the top-notch guys. What was the one I saw? I really liked Tommy Braxton. Is one of my favorite guys. The one you had with him was really nice. And then I liked the Dale Holm. I liked all of them, but and the Mike Allen one, because I'm so familiar with those. I thought you obviously you guys would talk about the Zusa area, or the area that we all grew up in. So I thought, I'll listen to that, because that'll be something I haven't talked about in a long time. Right?
Yeah. That's cool. All right, man. Well, Matt, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, dude. Thank you very much for taking the time. Danny and I are super stoked. And thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Sorry it was so dark. See what you can do about getting my lighten my side up a little bit.
I'm going to bring you darker, dude. We're just going to use in the witness protection program. All right,
guys. I'll see you. I'll see you around somewhere.
We'll see you at the track, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely see you guys.
All right, bro.
Peace out, boys. Take care.
All right, that's a wrap, dude. Kevin talked me through the back-to-back, and that was a good show, man. Awesome.
I'm telling you, dude, the Zusa guys, dude, it's the Zusa guys that I bond with, dude. I don't get to talk to them very often, man. So I'm totally stoked, and that was fun.
Hey, that's like when I got to talk to Charles Townsend. He's NorCal. I was super pumped, and Donnie Robinson's NorCal, and it's cool that I get it. I understand what you're talking about, but I can tell when they're from your area, because you get a little more talky than usual.
It's totally true, man. I can't lie, dude. It's totally true, man. But I'm glad we got that one done. And then we got Caston tomorrow night, which is going to drop next week. It's sick, dude. And then we have another Hall of Famer in 2 weeks, or next week. Right? Yeah.
We're filming again Sunday, I think.
I'm not going to say who it is, though.
Yeah. That's okay.
Every time I've ever said who it is, we've jinxed it. So.
Yeah, just stick to the sizzle reel once it's confirmed. There you go.
Oh, my God, dude. 297 views. 297,000 views on the Donnie Robinson winning. When I divulging that he beat me in trivia, 297,000.
That's awesome, dude.
on Matt's sizzle reel for this show, last time I looked, it was at 90,000 something.
Jeez.
Like everything I put out is like just gold. It's just going crazy. So
I don't know, man. Because Facebook is hitting so hard. I know we do shorts. And my shorts for the show are limited to 3 minutes because I make them YouTube shorts as well. It's almost to the point, Kevin, where we might have to make the whole show available on Facebook or a portion thereof, whether it's 30 minutes of it or 20. I don't know, man. I don't want to mess with the formula. I hate to tweak things too much, but it's just kind of thoughts that go through my mind, especially because of the viewership.
We need to get on like. What's Joe Rogan on? What's the Apple Podcasts or whatever? We need to do that, but I have no idea how to do it. None.
Yeah, your son.
Know how to do it.
I bet you anything, your son can do it.
I've asked him to help me out. He blows me off all the time. Yeah, whatever. He blows me off. But if anybody out there knows how to get this show on the Apple Podcasts or whatever. I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it because I have no idea how to do that. But if you want to do
a good one, Kevin, is Spotify. We need to get the shows on Spotify
or Spotify or whatever. Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe we need a chief technology officer. I don't know.
Oh, you know what we can do, Kev, is we can get a little meeting with Dale Holmes because his stuff is on Spotify. So we could probably have him give us some tips on how to get it on there. He'll probably help us.
Okay.
I'm sure he would if we asked him.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
He's to help out the competition, but we're healthy competition, right? We're in a good standing with each other.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Unlike some of the other ones.
That's true.
Not because of us.
I'd love to get mentioned more often, man. I hear sometimes I listen to a lot of shows. I listen to everybody's shows, and they run through the list of all the BMX podcasts and YouTube stuff, and man, we rarely get mentioned. And I'm like, come on, man,
I already know they're gonna ignore us, man.
Yeah, I'm like, give us a little bit of love, man, at least. But we'll get there, man. And whether it comes through third party or we just do it on our own, man, let's just do it, you know.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. If we're pulling in 10 times the viewers that they are, they're not going to mention us, man.
I don't know. We'll see, man. It's all fun. It's just competition, just like racing.
Competition, dude.
Yeah. But anyway,
right,
man.
So if someone wants to find you, where can they find you, Matt? Man, you mentioned many times that you have your own channel. What's your channel?
Danny Pena BMX Racing on YouTube. Of course, the magazine reviews, race reviews, all BMX content all the time. Please like and subscribe. Share those videos. My subscriber count is slowly ticking up. I had good viewership last week. I was actually pretty pleased with the views I've been catching on YouTube. I got a little slow on it, Kev, because again, I have to learn how to balance both. You know, the podcast is my priority, but I still like to do my channel. But if I ignore it, I notice that my view count drops like pretty quickly. I got to be consistent with dropping content. And when I drop content, it always helps me here because everything's fresh in my mind when we're talking to people. That's why I could talk to Matt about his World Championship pass on Danny Nelson because I've reviewed it. I've watched it a million times. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about cutting up this and putting it on your channel?
I do cut it up. Every video I cut a little piece of this show and put it on my.
I'm saying just cut it, make it easy with no edits or whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah. I have one that I did of it was really cool. I'm glad you brought it up because I took one where we reviewed a magazine and I just screen recorded the whole thing. I re-edited the whole thing and added more photos and everything. It came out awesome, and it's only like 30 minutes. You and I went over like a BMX Action 1982 or something. It was great. And then I took pieces of multiple shows that and where it's just you and I talking like right now, and I made like a 30-minute clip just out of you and I just shooting the breeze in between our guests, and it was really, really cool. So every once in a while, we should squeeze in a video where it's just us, because we don't do that anymore. But that would be pretty cool too. Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you from Danny. Thank you from myself, and thank you from Matt Haden. Thank you, Matt Haden, for coming on the show one more time. Awesome show. If you'd like to support the channel, subscribe. Go to BMXPodcast.com. Get some merch. And until next week, the track is closed. Peace out, man. Later, Danny.